Hey everyone, I'm so excited for you guys to jump on with us. So this is sort of mutated into this big team combined Zoom. I'm super excited about it. So if I'm a new face to you guys, let me just introduce who I am. My name is Valerie Reynolds. I'm a double diamond. I've been with It Works since 2015. And I guess basically how this started is I was going to do a social media Zoom with my team. And then I decided, oh, well, let me see if I can get Alyssa on because she's like the person I go to whenever I have social media questions. And then she asked if her team can join. So we just decided to sort of merge this together into this new, so we hadn't done a social media Zoom in a while. At least I haven't done a social media training in a while with my team. So I know this was long overdue. So I guess, let me real quick just share my story since there's some of you guys that may not know who I am. And then Alyssa, you can share yours because I know my team hasn't heard it. And then we can kind of go into some of the tips. Okay. So I started in September 2015. I was a head volleyball coach and a chemistry teacher. And I just had this, I loved coaching, loved teaching, loved the kids. But just in 2015, something changed. I had a pretty rough season. Really, all of my time hop is starting to come back. And I just lost my joy when it came to work and showing up. I wasn't passionate about it anymore. It was a lot of, I worked really hard and just got more responsibilities, and I just didn't like that. So I reached out to my sponsor who had messaged me 2 months prior, and I had totally ignored her. And I just messaged her and asked how she earned extra income. And I signed up the next day. My original goal was $1,000 a month so I could step away from coaching and just teach, figuring if I got home at 4 o'clock every day versus 6:30, that was a huge improvement. And that was my goal. But in the end, my team has heard this. God had a bigger plan for me than what even I had for myself. I thought $1,000 and an emerald paycheck was going to be good enough for me. And God kept pushing me to do more and said, I have bigger goals for you than just teaching, than just stepping away from coaching. You have to keep going. And I promoted to diamond in 5 months, and I promoted to double diamond in 7 months. And I resigned from my full-time teaching and coaching position 9 months into the business. So I have been stay at home. This is now my second year coming up of staying home, and I love every moment of it. This business has brought me home to my babies. At the time, I only had one baby. Now I have two babies. And now you just kind of, I want my team to be able, I want you guys to be able to experience the exact same thing that I did, that it's totally possible. Whether you want $100, $500, or you want to stay home, you can with this business. There's endless possibilities with this business. So that's just kind of my quick story in general. Don't want to take up too much of your time. So Alyssa, if you want to give yours.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Alyssa Bowman. I just got married, so formerly I was Alyssa Loins. So some of you may have been on a Zoom with me before, and I have a new name. But I have been in this company since 2011, so a long time, y'all. I just celebrated my 6-year anniversary. I joined this company when I was 22, so I was just a baby. And, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I joined because I saw the wrap do something crazy to someone else's body, not even my own. I hadn't even tried any of the products. I didn't know we had other products. I knew we had a wrap and that was it. And I jumped in. I thought, I've spent $100 on sillier things. It was actually $199 the day until I joined. So Ashley is my sponsor, Ashley Sinclair, and she was my boss at the time. And she said, go home, think about it, pray about it, talk to your parents. And if you still want to join tomorrow, then we'll talk about it. And the next morning, the company announced it was $99 instead of $199. So I jumped in. She was brand new. I was clearly brand new. Her sponsor wasn't even Ruby yet, which is Tiffany Chapman. For those of you who know her, she's an ambassador. We were all pretty new to things, had no idea what we were doing, and we just dove in. So made a lot of mistakes along the way, did a lot of silly things, sent messages that were seriously 100 paragraphs long. We didn't know what we were doing, but we learned, and we still are obviously all still in the business. We do this full time. About 7 months into the business, I went triple diamond, ended up making more money as a 23-year-old than I ever imagined I would. I ended up buying the boutique that I was working at. So I was a traditional business owner while also doing this business on the side as a triple. I did that for 3 years and finally decided this is absolutely crazy. I have a job, a side gig that I work from my cell phone that I could make $1 million a month, but instead I'm spending 99% of my time at the store trying to make ends meet, paying for employees, paying rent, paying for inventory. This is nuts. What if I just treated my plan B, my It Works job, as if it were my plan A? And so I made a decision. That was November of 2014. I promoted to presidential the next May and sold my store that same month. And I've been working from home ever since. So that's my story in a nutshell. Honestly, there are so many peaks and valleys and all sorts of things that I could share with you. But that's in a nutshell. And this is for social media, not for my story. So I'm excited because Valerie is amazing. Those of you that follow her, you know she's amazing at social media. So I think this is going to be really good for our teams to see. So I'm just going to make sure we've got everyone muted. And then Valerie, did you want to start with a tip and we can kind of just ping pong back and forth?
Yes, we can do that. So basically throughout the day, I still suffer from baby brain, by the way. I had a baby 3 months ago. So what I've been doing all day is as I've been thinking of, oh yeah, we need to talk about that and that, I made a list. So I'm just going to start off with the very first one at the very, very top of my screen. And it was about like photos. And real quick, we're just giving you a quick tutorial on taking quality photos and selfies. And I know that sounds kind of silly and almost a little indulgent to talk about taking selfies, but it's very, very important, especially when it comes to social media, because it has to be eye-catching. And so you have to just think about the quality that you're putting out there to your people. And we'll talk more about how to post and what to post and that sort of stuff later. But just from the very beginning, the first thing that's going to catch somebody's eye is going to be your photo and what you're posting about. So let me just kind of share some of the things. First of all, when you take a good photo, you have to take a good photo and you want things to face the light. Okay. I have everything kind of shut off right now in my house. So it's not a great example, but I have a lamp over here to my left. And so if I were to take a photo, first, my biggest suggestion is natural lighting is the best. Go find yourself a selfie window is what I'd call it. I'm right here. I have a big window in front of me. And during the day, you're going to find, if you look at my selfies, I'm in 2 places or maybe 3 places in my house. I'm in this front office area. And I take most of my selfies here because in the morning, the sunlight just comes right on in. And you want to face the light and have everything else turned off. If I were to go turn on that, I always turn off my kitchen light when I Zoom because it's bright. And so it's going to create a shadow and you're not going to get good selfies. So you want to always face light, try to use natural light, open the windows up, and you want to take pictures from above. Okay. Because if you kind of take pictures down low, it's hard on a Zoom. Like if you look down, you're going to create like that double chin and it's not very flattering. Okay, so these are just things that we don't even think about. So you want to look up and have your good side, whatever side you feel like is good. You can't even see my phone. You want to be up and you want to be facing the light. For me, this is the best angle to get a good selfie. If you're taking pictures of products, exact same reasoning. Have them face the light. So the light really would be behind you, right? With you taking the photo this way. And that way there's not any shadows on it. You want the light to be in front of the product, facing the product. You don't want it to be behind anything. Do you have anything maybe you want to add to that? I kind of went through it pretty quickly.
No, I'm just sitting here thinking about how ridiculous it is that we get paid to do what we do. Like we are training on how to take selfies and it's totally necessary. A lot of people, before this business, I wasn't thinking about the lighting in my selfies. I wasn't probably posting a whole lot of selfies before I joined, but high quality photos. Seriously, if you only post a couple times about the business, you only have very few opportunities, for people scrolling through social media to stop and pause on your picture. You might post once about the products and once about the business every day. That's it. And you've got a really small window for people to scroll by and possibly stop. And as soon as they see just a not high quality picture, or they see anything that looks like an advertisement, guess what? They swipe faster. They get past that thing as fast as they can because people don't want to see ads. So bright colors, facing the light, like she said, a really easy way to, because I know a lot of people are like, I just don't have cute things in my house to like pose products with. A really easy thing that I taught my team last year was, and it was around Christmas time, because I went to Hobby Lobby and I got a ton of different scrapbook papers. And I use those as backdrops. I either put them against the wall and put the product in front of them, or I held the product. You can find some that look like fake wood, and you can take a picture and you can't even tell it's paper in the background. So that's a really easy way to add cheap decorations to your house or to the backdrops of your pictures. And the other thing that I would tell you is, there's different apps that are great. I use an app called PicTapGo. It's my go-to for brightening pictures, adding contrast. And I think it's only on iPhones, but it's called PicTapGo. And my go-to filters on it, if you get it, are doing the lights on and the crispity. Depending on the quality of the photo, you might use others. But seriously, I get messages about my pictures, or if I'm using a camera, it's that app. And just knowing how to find good light. So
yes, and I use PicTapGo as well.
PicTapGo is good. And you can add borders and all that kind of stuff too, but more than anything, it's just important to have the high quality photos. Yes, I got the chat and
here, I beached it. And that's great. I learned something because I search through Alyssa's page all the time and wondering how you pose everything, all the cute little ways you pose all your product. I'm more of just like I take a selfie with it. Yeah. So my suggestion is, like, today I actually did my full makeup and did my hair, like washed my hair today. So if you have that day, like Sundays, if you go to church, that day, go and pose with all of your products.
Yeah.
And I send it to my team all the time. I took my selfies today and I have like 50 selfies of different, like a 2, a 3, nothing, a surprise face, my products. If you finish a product, don't throw it away, especially if it's a bottle and you don't have the replacement. You can still pose with the bottle. And so you can still use those later on. And so that way, whenever you look like a hot mess and you don't want to put makeup on that day, you can still go back and use no one's going to know that selfie was from a week ago. Yes. Add a jacket. Don't take the jacket off, all of that stuff. And so that's an easy way, because I stay home, so I don't do my makeup every single day, but I want to have those nice photos for later. So you take lots of selfies, and it's, once again, it's not self-indulgent. You're trying to build a business. And so the business is you showing that you're using the product and you putting yourself out there. I'd rather you take a selfie and post a real photo of you than some "it works" quote that you found on Pinterest. No one cares about the business quote. Everyone wants to see you and what you're doing. So this is very crucial to the business. So photos, how to take good selfies, lighting angles, we talked about all of that. Do you want to go on with something else?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one trick, and for whatever reason, this usually just blows people's mind, and it's really not that great of a tip, but it's helped me a lot, especially if you're super busy. And if you're on Pinterest, you will love this tip because it gives you an excuse to get on Pinterest that actually helps your business. So I have a bunch of secret boards on Pinterest. You can also create photo albums on your phone if you want. And I title each one based on things that I post about a lot. So I have a board that has a bunch of fitness quotes, funny memes about fitness. I have another one, when we came out with coffee, I made a board specific to coffee and energy and keto. And so I have a whole board for that, just with quotes basically, or funny memes. So when people ask me, how do you come up with captions for your photos, or your captions are always so funny? They're not my captions. I've just taken a funny meme or something that I've seen on Pinterest, or if I see something funny scrolling on Facebook, I'll screenshot it. And instead of sharing that post to my page because I think it's funny, instead I will type out what the picture says and use it as a caption for my picture. So perfect example is tomorrow with my coffee. I found a cute little picture of a mug. Let me see if I can find it here. It says, "Hocus pocus, I need to focus." So I'm like, perfect, keto coffee selfie with that caption. So easy, didn't come up with it, but it's cute and it's not copy and paste. It's not really salesy. So I have just Pinterest boards of things like that. And you can do it for different things. Like I have a dog mom board. So all funny things about dogs, being a dog mom. Again, like some of them are sweet. Some of them are just funny. I will type them out if I need just to post something really fast. It's a great way to come up with a creative caption if you're not feeling creative.
Yes. And I will piggyback the meme thing. I do use Pinterest as well. And I have taken that tip. That tip has been shared in Ashley's page before. And so I've used it I'm pumpkin spice lover. And so instead of sharing all the pumpkin spice memes, I take a picture with my pumpkin spice latte. And then I think I posted a meme, but I made it my quote where it said, if, all the people that hate pumpkin spice, when you realize you don't need that kind of negativity in your life or something like that. It went well. It went so well. I didn't make it up at all. It was not me. It was something I found. And so this is something, just once again, we have no direction with this Zoom whatsoever. Just thoughts that are coming to our head. But when it comes to Facebook, it's a little harder on Instagram to be able to just share things. But on Facebook, I know it's really easy to click that share button and just share a meme or share something cute. My advice, I always go and I hold my finger on it, on that picture. I save it and I personally will repost it originally myself. I usually go to an app like PicLab and I'll crop it with a white border around it, kind of change it a little bit because Facebook, so just kind of a heads up, Facebook doesn't like repetition. So if you use a photo that has been used already, that photo has like an image like tag, for lack of a better word, on social media, on Facebook. So if you just share that exact same photo, like if I take a picture and then somebody goes and saves it and just posts it again, Facebook knows it's the exact same photo. Okay, so if you go and just alter the image just a little bit, adding a little white border, whatever, cropping it some, if you edit it, it gives it a brand new tag. And so now Facebook doesn't recognize that they're the same photo. And so it is more likely that it's going to show it to more people. Whereas if you just use repetitious, like our results photos, the memes, the quotes, all that stuff, they've been used before. Facebook knows they've been used before. So if you just share those, Facebook's like, oh, well, somebody's already posted that. That's not original. I know that's not original. I may not share it to as many people. And so your post can kind of get dinged a little bit and you won't have the visibility. Whereas if it was an original post, it will. So anyways, back to the memes. What I do is I save the memes personally, and sometimes I'll use them as a quote. And sometimes I crop them or put a border around them, and then I post them originally myself. And I have other people go and share my posts versus sharing whoever So Mexican meme or like whatever the page is that shared that. Like, I don't even know who shared it, but I saved it. And Valerie Reynolds is the one who posted it next. So they're not sharing So Mexican's page or whatever. They're sharing my page and my memes. So that's something that I don't use the share button. I go and I save it myself and post it. So that's just kind of a tip from me, is to not share and I guess we can go into it, sharing recipes. There's a save button. There's a save button. Don't share the recipes. You want your page to be you and about you. And if I go to your page, I should be able to scroll through the past week and know exactly what your name is, who you are. Are you a mom? Are you single? Are you married? Your life should be there and not a bunch of noise. If that makes sense.
If you want to share a recipe, a good idea instead is to actually make the recipe and then post a picture of it.
Yes. You'll get a lot more hits. That way people are going to ask you, well, what's the recipe? Oh, it's down below in the comments. And then people see your comments. They spend more time on your posts, which gives it more visibility. Facebook likes that. And so it's all this stuff that you don't normally think about. You want to be original. That's kind of the bottom line with this social media Zoom. You want to be as original as possible. The share button is not original. So be original yourself. So anyways, I was on a little tangent. all about not sharing. That was the bottom line.
Not sharing is important.
Not sharing is very important. Okay, so do you want to go over like attraction marketing, like how to? Sure. Okay. So what we mean by attraction marketing is you want to attract people. We tell you to add friends on Facebook, right? And so I was going to go on another tangent. I'm so ADD everywhere today.
There's so much with social media that I have a hard time with these trainings because I'm like, we could sit here and talk all night. And
yes, we could. So let's just talk about attraction marketing. So what that means with attraction marketing is you are not so much selling something to somebody, is they're going to buy into you first before they buy into the business, before they buy into the product. They're going to buy into you, your excitement, your positivity, your passion. That's what they're going to be attracted to. And so are you conveying that in your post, or are you just throwing something up for people to see that's, you know, before and after, and who wants to be my product tester, or are you being passionate about your post? So that's what we're going to talk about, is attraction marketing and how to attract people to you versus you. It's like the push and the pull. Are you pushing them away with advertisements and being a commercial, or are you pulling them in with your story? Are they intrigued by who you are and not so much the sale? Okay. So the first thing is go back through your we challenge you to go back through your profile, and are you someone who is positive? Do you have lots of positivity on your social media? Or are you one that tends to rant a lot? Are you negative? Are you being political? I mean, and if that's you, then that's you, but you have to think about, you're trying to run your business on social media. And if you have, you know, a political opinion, you can be alienating certain people away from you. And so you kind of want to be like Switzerland when it comes to social media. You want to be that neutral. You just want to be the light. You want people to look forward to what you're going to post about that day. And that always makes my day when people say, I just look forward to what you're going to do. I want to have kids so I can post those crazy memes about that my 5-year-old says a pancake is spicy or something like that. Like they get attracted to stuff like that. So who are you? Okay. So that's kind of I'm all over the place with it, but who are you? Think about that. Like, we should be able to pick out 5 things on your profile who you are. Are you portraying that to people who you are, or are you just kind of throwing stuff up hoping it sticks? So that's kind of the first thing. And are you being positive? Are you being the light? Are you being motivating? Are you a person that people want to be friends with? That's something that I wrote down. Are you being that person that they just look like they're a lot of drama, I don't want to be friends with them? Or she looks like she's a lot of fun. She makes fun of herself or is real funny. She posts really awesome recipes. She looks like someone that I want to be friends with. That's going to be the first connection. And so if you are struggling with people responding to you or giving you positive feedback, go back to that. Are you someone who they want to respond to, that they want to be friends with? You know what I mean? Am I making sense, Alyssa? Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's perfect. The things that I had written down for attraction marketing was more thinking of your page as people don't want to join your team. They don't want to spend $99. They want to be your friend, or they want to have a relationship with you before they ever want to buy something that you're selling. We always, you know, if you read any book on sales ever, it'll say people are buying you before they're buying your products. So attraction marketing is just like it sounds. You're attracting people into your life, not necessarily attracting people into your job. It Works is just a part of who we all are, but we are all so much more than It Works. And that's your job on social media, is to show them not only are you a boss babe or an It Works distributor or whatever, there's more behind that. They need something to relate to feel that connection and want to go into business with you. That's not a decision that a lot of people make lightly. Usually people are typically nervous to join this type of business. We all were skeptical or nervous. So they need to feel comfortable with you. And that comfort comes from being attracted or relating to some part of your life. And they can't relate to your life if you're not posting about it. So
yes. Something that I thought of was think about who you are. First, this all is going to boil down to who are you. You have to know who you are first, because we can give you all the tips and you can follow me, you can follow Alyssa, you can follow all these other leaders, and you can mimic what they do, but it may not work for you. I'm never going to be that person on Instagram that's going to have their selfies look like models, like where I look like a model. That's just not me. I can take a good selfie, but I'm never going to look like a model. Or some of these ambassadors, I go through their page, I'm like, golly, like they have the fake eyelashes and their hair's always done, and
The photographer follows them around.
yes, like Ashley Hughes. Like my pictures will never look like Ashley Hughes's pictures. That's just the bottom line. But who I am, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids. My husband's a coach, and you're going to be able to find all of that out just by scrolling through my page for the first couple of days. You're going to know I'm a coach's wife. You're going to know that we love football. You're going to know that I have a son and I have a daughter. You're going to know that I can't cook. And that's my life, and that I make fun of my kids. I stress about being a mom, and I have those mom jokes. Okay. If you go through Alyssa's page, you're going to know that she's a newlywed. You're going to know that she's a dog mom, that she loves fitness. Like, I have nothing about fitness on my page. So I'm not going to post about fitness. That's not who I am. So we're not asking you to be someone you're not. Don't fake who you are. Know who you are and exploit who you are. Know exactly who you are and then run with it, because you're going to attract other people who are just like you. But you have to know who you are first and then own it. And that's who you need to be on social media. Don't be me. Don't be Alyssa. Be you. And you're going to have to own that. And that's what's going to attract other people. If you're positive, you're going to attract more positive people. If you go on rants on social media, or you are angry on social media, that's who you're going to attract, are those people. And you don't want those people in your business. You want people that are positive, that are going to run, that need the extra income. That I want moms. I want working moms on my team who want to come home, because that's my story. That's who I'm going to attract. So who are you going to attract? And have you been posting to attract them? Or are you just posting stuff that you find on Pinterest hoping it sticks? Are you being genuine, or are you being desperate? Because people can sniff out the desperate. You want to be genuine with what you post. So
Just to go along with that, I watched a really awesome Instagram training about a year ago, and the one main thing that stuck with me through that, and it works for Facebook too, but think of your life like a magazine. You know, if you get any magazine in the mail, it always has a table of contents. It usually has a featured story, but for the most part, the sections of the magazine are always the same. You know, if you read like Women's Health or something, there's still like a beauty section. There's still like fitness tips. There's still a story of someone that fits in the magazine. So the tip was, think of your life like a magazine. What's your normal table of contents? And come up with 5 to 7 topics or subjects or areas of your life that you're going to post about the most often. So for me, it was, being a dog mom, fitness, obviously being a Networks distributor. So health/business, spiritual life, going to church, anything, fellowship, that kind of stuff. And then wedding was a big part of my life for the last year. So those were kind of like the sections of my magazine. So when I was looking at my page or my Instagram and deciding on what to post, or maybe I just wasn't feeling creative, I didn't have anything new in my newsfeed, I could go through that list of things. And I had it written out. I could be like, okay, the last 3 things I posted were about my wedding, about fitness, about my dog. I haven't posted about going to church recently. So it keeps you on a good balance. It also gives you inspiration on what to post about. So that really helps me, just especially when, again, I wasn't feeling inspired about what to post. It kind of kept me on track, and it made sure my page always portrayed who I am. Because we all get caught up in like posting all about one thing, and we look up and we're like, I haven't posted about a product in a week because I've been so focused on getting a distributor, or I've been so focused on my wedding. So coming up with those 5 to 7 things, I think will help most people.
Yeah, I love that, because I get stuck too a lot, and you feel like my life isn't exciting. I don't have anything to post about. Well, it's not about posting about the exciting things. It's about just posting who you are and yourself every single day. So I love that, having that list and just knowing, having that balance. I like that. That was a good tip. See, I'm learning too. Do you have something that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I can really quickly screen share. I know a lot of you guys know how to find friends on Facebook, but for newer people, when we say, grow your network, find new friends, where, who do I add? Oh, I'm friends with everyone I'm friends with already on Facebook. So I'm going to show you quickly how I do that. So let me share my screen. I always forget how to do this. Okay. Is that my Facebook page?
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. All right. So the easiest way that I friend people is I go to my page. So you guys will go to your page. You'll click on friends. If you haven't seen this before, it will blow your mind. Otherwise, you're going to be bored, but that's okay. And you'll go here to find friends. And when you click on that, it's going to show you your friend request and maybe some people that, oh, I should friend her. Okay, so you can set filters over here on the right-hand side. So if you want to find people that you might know, you can say, I want to find people that I went to high school with that currently live in the same city as me. And it'll give you this whole list of people that you might know based on mutual friends, based on location, and obviously they went to my high school. So that's one filter you can use. The cool thing is you can do all sorts of filters. You can choose their employer. I went to a small college, but if I wanted to find people that went to the University of Houston, you can set a filter. It's going to show me a whole other list of people that I might know. So typically when I'm going through this list, I would scroll over, this girl I have 51 mutual friends with, probably have a friend in common that's a distributor, so I probably wouldn't friend her. I'm not about that life. I try to find people that I don't have mutual distributor friends with, but that is the easiest way, in my opinion, to grow your network. And it's also an easy way to find people that you will have mutual friends with, which I think makes it more likely that they will accept your friend request. The other way that I find people is through a couple of group pages that I'm in. So if you are not in one or two active groups on Facebook, I highly recommend doing so. I'm in just honestly, even my neighborhood page is good. If you guys have a neighborhood page, go on there once a week and just answer some people's questions. A lot of times our page is, what's a good local nail salon? Today I asked, where should I go get my wedding dress cleaned? And connect with people through that page. I know that they're local, so that's awesome. And a lot of times they'll accept my friend request because when I send them a request, it says, Alyssa is also a member of Lakes of Savannah neighborhood page. So it's a really easy way to connect with people and get them on your page. And I have signed up customers and distributors from our neighborhood page just by engaging with people on there. When we were wedding planning, I was in a wedding planning group. So find your interest, something that you actually are interested in, because it'll be much easier to engage on those pages. Don't just go join every single fitness group out there. If you don't like fitness, that's going to be silly. You're going to be bored to death reading through some of those posts. You're going to have no questions. If you love crafting, find a crafting or DIY page because you will actually enjoy it, and it makes Facebook that much more fun.
And then you're going to find people that are like you, that you're going to connect with. Like I have a couple of coaches' wives. I'm in a coaches' wives group. And I have a couple of coaches' wives that are on my team. And we actually have our own little separate chat. That has nothing to do with business. It just has to do with venting about our husbands and how they don't get home until midnight on football nights or whatever. Another thing when it comes to adding friends, because I've done that before, searching, but I look and see how many mutual friends we have, and I keep it 30, 20, 10 range about there. That way I'm not overlapping with potential distributors. Obviously I'll look at the list, but there's less of a chance if you keep it like 30 or under. And I've also done that with Mexico too, searching the Mexico cities. And you can find mutual friends that are there also. So I love that was awesome. On Instagram, what I have done, I don't know if I can, am I frozen or?
Nope.
Okay. For some reason you're frozen on my screen, but I can hear you.
I don't know.
I don't know do you think I can share from, let me see if they'll let me.
I don't know.
A plug.
Can I like make you?
Mine, well, it says I have to install some
Oh,
thing. I don't know. I can talk while it's installing. On Instagram, what I do is I like to use, let me see.
it said you started screen sharing.
Yes, choose a Wi-Fi network. I should have practiced this before. I've done it before, but on my own thing. And then select AirPlay. AirPlay. Haha. Am I doing it?
It says we're viewing your screen,
But is it on there?
but I don't see anything. Does anyone else see anything? Hold on.
Well, I can just tell you what I do. There we go. Okay,
There
so
we go.
on Instagram, once again, I am myself. Okay, so I don't just make stuff up, kind of like the groups. So there's really not any groups on Instagram that you can just go like be in. But what I do is I like to come to the search bar up here at the top. Okay, and I like to go to the places tab. Okay, and then from there, I think about places like, for example, my husband's family. My in-laws are from Nebraska. It is football season. Huge time for Nebraska football. My kids have uniforms. I know I'm going to be posting about Nebraska football. So I like to go and I can search for University of Nebraska, Lincoln. And then I find people, I find the top posts, and I like to go to the recent posts. And so this is how I follow people on Instagram. You can go and find college girls. I like to like it and then follow. And so this is one way for me to find people that are maybe, and Instagram's a little bit different, right? Because it's people that you don't really know. So you don't really have to have those mutual friends, but I'm finding people that I'm going to have a common interest with because I know it's Nebraska football is huge. I'm going to be posting about it. And I have a couple of girls now that I just chat with who live in Nebraska. We've never met before, but we have this mutual connection. During basketball season, college basketball season, I'm a huge Duke basketball fan. Once again, I am not making this up. I've been watching them since the 7th grade. It is who I am. And so I will go in university, or I guess I can just put Duke in. It's not University of Duke, but Duke University. And so I'm searching the place, people that have geotagged themselves there. I know they live in Durham, North Carolina, or they have been there, and I go and I follow them. And I know I do this more during college basketball season, knowing I'm going to be posting about it soon. And so once again, I'm not making up who I am. This is who I am. Sports is our life. You can search, obviously you can search hashtags. For me personally, I try not to search hashtags that are like mom boss or it works raps or something like that, because I like to find the hashtags that are more of like this 4,218 posts than the 9 million posts, because I feel like I get more real people with the ones that have less. So I like to do like coaches' kids, coaches' families, people that I know that are going to be hashtagging and living the same life that I live. So those are just kind of my tips, and you can go and find that hashtag that you are going to connect with, that you will use, because then you can find these people. All these people have public profiles, and you can go in, you can not only obviously say I've done this already, liked her stuff and following, but it's just a way to connect. And once again, this is Instagram versus Facebook. Instagram's a little bit of a different beast. But that's how I follow people on Instagram. And the other thing that I do is I'll also find somebody, I'll pick this girl right here. I will go to their likes and then find the women there. I don't follow men, just out of respect for my husband, and plus there's creepers. So I follow the women, but I like to follow, she posted this 23 hours ago. So I know these people have been on Instagram at least 23 hours ago. They're not going to be someone that checks Instagram every 5 months. So I go through there and this is a fast way for me to do it, where I just kind of go through and follow. Sometimes I get picky and I'll go through, when I have more time, and go to their actual profile and see if there's somebody that, I think that I would get along with. But that's just a quick version, because right now with 2 kids, that's basically what I have to do, is the quick way. So that's how I work Instagram also. So there is an extra little tidbit
I
there.
love it. We work our Instagrams pretty much the same way. Just my life's different than yours. So I search different places and different hashtags, but I do the exact same thing. I think what's confusing for people when it comes to hashtags, because I think I get that question a lot, like, when do I use them? How do I use them? I really, for the most part, only use them to find people. But when you're thinking about hashtags to search, like she was saying, you have to think about what that person would be using. Your potential customer is not using hashtag It Works Wraps. The only person that would be using hashtag It Works Wraps would be an It Works distributor that doesn't know how to use hashtags. So like if someone needs wraps or wants wraps, they're not using that hashtag. So think about, okay, for a long time, and still I'm following brides to be or newlyweds because I still have about 1,500 wedding pictures to post on my Instagram, and I'm slowly posting them so I can continue to grow my following of brides, because we all know brides are getting in shape and then they're going to get married and then they're going to have babies. So for me, perfect clientele right now. But the hashtags that I searched typically were like hashtag 71517. That was my wedding date. I found so many brides. I have friends on Facebook now because I searched that hashtag and we had the same wedding date and we bonded over that. And I found literally I went through every Saturday and I was friending people that got married this year, and you'd be surprised how many people use their date as a hashtag. And I even searched popular like last names, like, I don't know, Becoming the Bowmans. That wasn't our wedding hashtag, but so many people have used that. Then I found people that had the same last name as me. So you just have to kind of think outside the box when it comes to finding people on Instagram and think about what your potential customer might be posting, not something that you would be posting. You have to think about how your life was before you started this business, because that's how people are using their Instagram. They're not using it to find people or to find you. So
last thing, do you want to talk about what we post about, like how we post about product, how we post about business, and how to not make it so salesy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So first thing, let's just preface this with two things that are no-nos. So just stop doing them. And it's okay if you have done them, because once again, my time hop is popping up from 2 years ago, and I cringe at my first couple of posts because they were graphics. So if you're using the graphics on Pinterest, if you're using like an advertisement, if it looks like a commercial, just don't use it. Okay. Just don't, please, for the love, just stop. You want real photos of you. And if you don't have the products, you have access to real photos. At least for us with Tammy's page, my team, we have a photo album that is on the team page. You can go use it. I've even taken It Works photos, the corporate ones, and I've cropped them with the It Works thing out, so it looks more like my photo. So I've done that before, but just the graphics, don't use them. It's going to look like a commercial. We may love the quotes and they may be very inspiring to us. Other people, they're just going to scroll right on past. And then the other thing is the copy and paste. Okay. If you love something that Alyssa has said, there's been times that I've read her stuff and I'm like, God, that's so brilliant. I put it in my notepad and I save it for a rainy day. Okay. I don't use it that same day. I don't even use it that same week. I use it when I'm not inspired. And then even when I do use it, I change it. I edit it to make it me, to make it, because we're two different people. And so if you feel inspired by somebody's poster, you're like, oh, I love what she said. Do not copy and paste it and don't use it right away. Give that person some respect. And once again, it goes back to the Facebook algorithm and repetition. If you post the exact same thing somebody else does, Facebook is going to see it. You guys see what Facebook does when people share the same thing over and over and over. It just starts to clump it all together. And so Facebook can recognize that. And so give the original poster some credit and let her have her good post. You can use it later, but edit it. Do not make it the original one, because Facebook will see that repetition and it does not share it to as many people. Whereas if you were to make your original one, it shares it to more people. Facebook rewards originality. So just don't copy and paste. That's a big no-no. And I forgot what else I said, because that's just perfect. How I am.
That's perfect.
Do you want to give your tips on how to create business posts, and then the one that you shared with me right before we got on the Zoom about like excuses.
Absolutely. Well, the one thing I always like to share is please share your story from every single angle, every single way you can possibly share your story. Share it consistently and share it often. If you are brand new, you still have a story. So why you joined, why you almost didn't join, how long it took you to join. Those are all parts of your story that people will relate to. So it's a perfect time to take a great selfie using great lighting and share part of your story. You don't have to, if I typed up my actual story, it would be like 8 chapters long. Take a little glimpse of your story and share it consistently. And the next time you want to share a part of your story, share a different part of your story. It's really important for people to connect with a part of your story. Someone might not be looking for friendships. So you posting about all of these great women you've met in the business, that might not connect to them. They might not need any more friends. But when your Cash pays for your groceries, that might connect with them, that might relate to them, or vice versa. You never know what part of your story is going to catch someone's eye. So it's really important to share it, every aspect of it. When I joined, I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to make an extra cash. That's part of my story. But part of my story is that I'm really shy and I don't like talking to people. That's part of my story too. I had no experience in sales. I didn't have the $99. All those little things are parts of your story. So make sure that you're sharing that consistently. But another thing that I often tell my team is use your excuses or use other people's excuses, your potential's excuses, and turn them into Facebook posts. So if you keep hearing, I'm just too busy for something like that, I just don't have any extra time, okay? That should inspire a post for you over the next couple weeks. You don't have to call someone out directly, but if people keep telling you they're too busy, are you showing them that you're able to work this business on a busy schedule? If people keep saying, I'm just not good at sales, are you posting about how you had no experience in sales, but you've never felt like you were selling an It Works product in your life because you're just sharing something you already love? I often tell people, like, I talk about restaurants that I love and movies that I like and books that I've read all the time. I just don't get paid for it. So pick up on what your potential's excuses are or why they're telling you no, and turn that into inspiration for a post. That makes sense?
Yes. I actually did that today. I had a girl tell me that it couldn't fit into her schedule. So my post for tonight was about how I used to be a busy working mom. And I still did it. So it's okay to put your fears out there. And I'm very open that I was the person that rolled my eyes at people that did network marketing. I thought that they were annoying. I unfollowed my sponsor, and I flat out admitted to people that I unfollowed my sponsor before I started. But people relate to that. That goes to people who are like, yeah, I think people are annoying too. But then they see my story. Well, maybe this is something for me. So be open and vulnerable. Other ways you can share about your business is you're excited about your commissions. What are your commissions going to pay for in the future? If you haven't gotten a commissions check, what do you plan on doing? I joined this business because I want to eventually be able to stay home with my babies, and I will do that. And first, you're doing 2 things. You're sharing with people that your excitement and your passion, but then you're also claiming your goal, and that's going to give you more fire to be able to do your business and run your business successfully. Get a Blitz card and taking pictures of your Blitz card with your paying for your gas, paying for your groceries, paying for your Starbucks. Whether or not that Blitz card really did pay for that Starbucks, who knows? Okay, but it can pay for your Starbucks, or it will pay for your Starbucks. If you have your commissions card, put your finger over the number and take a picture of that commissions card paying for your Starbucks or your breakfast or dinner or whatever the case may be. There are a whole bunch of different ways, but notice all of these ways that we're suggesting, none of them, or excuse me, all of them have to do with you. All of them have to do with you, and they're all personal that nobody else can post but you. We get so desperate trying to find distributors that we just throw stuff up there. Who wants to make $500 by Christmas? Yeah, but how? Yeah. How? I mean, and I'm not saying those posts are bad, but if you build up and you show people your story, and it's going to feel repetitious and it's going to feel almost mundane and boring to you to share your story a bajillion times. But if you've been adding friends consistently, there are people that haven't read your story yet, or they're going to need to read different parts of your story to put it all together before they decide to message you, or they decide to even respond to your message. And so you want to continue to share your story and what It Works is doing for you, staying positive about it. Not that you're broken, you don't have any money or anything like that. They want to see what It Works is doing for you, what it can do for them. Then when you throw that random, who wants to make $500 at Christmas? They're going to be like, well, yeah, I read her story. She's done it. I can do that too. But the ones that lack, I guess, passion or excitement, the ones that you're just kind of throwing up at the wall hoping it sticks, people can see right through that. And if you're wondering why people aren't messaging you back, and you're wondering why you can't find a distributor, look at the passion of your post. Do you have passion, or are people seeing right through hoping your hopes, like that, hoping this post works? So it's all about you and being original. So wanted to put that out there too. Same thing with products. If you haven't started a product, find a product that's going to give you visual results and order it. If you paid $99 to get into this business, you can go and afford to get some hair, skin, and nails. Find one product. You don't have to order all of them. I haven't even tried all of them. Have you tried all of them, Melissa? Yeah. And she's been in for 6 years. But find one that's going to give you visual results and post about how passionate you are. Yes, we have variety. Yes, you want to share about all the products. But find that one that you are so passionate about, that people are going to stick to you because of your passion. And so then when you do post about fat fighters that maybe you've never used before, people are going to have more faith in you because of your passion from all of your other stuff that you've posted about. I hope all of that makes sense. It's all about you attracting the people to trust you, and just throwing up sales ad, product tester, this quote that's not genuine. All of that is pushing people away. Think about what you read on your newsfeed. Are you someone, go follow yourself? Are you someone who is just a commercial, or are you someone who is telling their story and sharing with the world what you have? Are you being genuine, or are you just looking kind of desperate, as for a lack of better words? Sorry if that was a little harsh, but
I don't think it was harsh. That's perfect. I know we're going kind of long, but the one thing that maybe I should have touched on earlier, we keep saying this word algorithm. A lot of you guys know what that is. You've probably heard us say it a lot, but Facebook has basically like a creepy tracking system for what they think that you want to see and what they think your friends want to see. So when we talk about algorithm, it's just what Facebook thinks they should show you. So there are ways to boost your algorithm. When we say boost it, that just means increase your engagement, get people back to seeing your stuff. One of the ways that you can control your algorithm is by who you interact with and who you build relationships with. So if all you do is like and comment on your sponsor's post or people on your team, Facebook's going to keep showing you more and more of their stuff. I'm not saying don't be encouraging and you don't have to unfollow every single distributor that you follow, but just know that by what you do on social media, you're telling Facebook what you want to see. So it is kind of a creepy thing. And for most of us, we hadn't made money on social media before we joined. So it's kind of hard for people to wrap their brain around the whole algorithm thing. It's not something you thought about before you joined this business. But think about how many friends you have on Facebook, and think about who you're actually seeing on your newsfeed every day. And you think that you're posting too much, but think about how many people you never see in your feed, or you see like 1 out of every 10 posts. Heck, I'm married to Tyler, and I see like 1 out of probably every 10 posts that he makes. So when you think you're being repetitive or you're sharing your story too much, think of who's actually seeing your story that much. You could share your story 10 times in the next month, and not all of your friends are going to see any of them. There are going to be people that don't see your story once, and there might be a few that see your story once or twice. But if you think about that, how many times is it going to take you posting your story and being consistent and talking about how this business is changing your life, and not just financially, but making new friends, having more confidence, just being more optimistic, setting new goals. People need to see all the different ways the business is changing your life. But it is going to take time to get that algorithm. And like Valerie said, it rewards being personal, being authentic. So the more authentic you are, the more people that are likely to see your post. But you can seriously have the most creative, best story, best selfie post in the entire world, and not everyone's going to see it. So you kind of have to get that out of your mind, that it doesn't have to always be perfect. We want to tell you guys how to use social media and how to take great pictures and how to come up with creative captions, but don't try to make things so perfect that you only post once a week, because that's not going to get you anywhere either. So take these tips and kind of run with it, but also try to understand that the algorithm thing, but also understand it's always changing, which is why we sometimes have to do new social media trainings, because they switch things up on us. They change the way things work. There were things that worked when I joined this business on Facebook that you can't even do anymore. They used to let you boost ads on your personal page and like weird stuff. So it changes all the time. So you kind of, if you want to build on social media, which I'm assuming most of you guys want to use social media for at least part of your business, you have to kind of be willing to learn and kind of go with it and go move with the changes and get on trainings like this so you can get up-to-date information.
And to piggyback on that algorithm, just a couple of things. Mix up when you post, if you have that flexibility. For example, I know I get in a rut of, I post about like my coffee in the morning, and I post like about product around lunchtime, and then I post about my business in the evening time. And sometimes I have to catch myself, and sometimes I have to switch it up and I have to post about business in the morning and my product in the evening and my lifestyle post in the middle of the day. Because think about people and their schedule. When are they checking social media? In the mornings, at night, at lunch. Some people may only check it at night. And so if I'm only posting about business at night, they may never see any of my posts, my product posts or my lifestyle posts. Vice versa. I have some people that only check it in the morning. So if I'm only posting about waking up in the morning, and they'll never see any of my product or business posts. So make sure you're mixing it up. If you are starting to find that you have that same little schedule during the day, flip it around. And that's perfectly okay, because you're going to hit different people at different times. The other thing, and this is one that can kind of change, I still stick with posting every 2 to 3 hours. And I know that feels like a lot. I have the flexibility of posting 2 to 3 hours staying home. When I was working, I posted 3 times a day, before work, at lunch, and then after work. But you want to keep your post at least 2 hours apart. At least this is for Facebook. And it could have changed, but for all I know, it's still working for me, at least 2 hours. Because if you post back to back, or even share something, if you share a recipe at 8 o'clock in the morning and then you post at 8:30, and you're wondering why in the world you don't have any likes on anything, it's because your posts are competing against one another. Your posts have lifespans. And if you've noticed, some posts continually have life because they get bumped up to the top of your newsfeed and they're like 3 days old. Those are because people are continuing to like and comment on them. But if you're posting back to back so close, if you share something and then 30 minutes later, an hour later, you post about business, or you post about products and 30 minutes later post about business, they're going to compete with one another. And Facebook has to decide which one is it going to show to your newsfeed. And it may even just decide to heck with it. I'm not going to show any of them, because they're just competing with one another. So have some space, at least 2 hours apart minimum. That's at least my rule of thumb. Other people have different ways that they do it. But for me, 2 hours seems to work fine. And I mix them up. I kind of sandwich all of my posts. Like if I do a product post, I'm not doing a business post right afterwards. Normally I tend to do something else that has nothing to do with it works. And I do interact with people, liking and commenting. And I love all of my distributors, but all of you guys are in your own little list, and you're off of my main news feed, and I am interacting with potentials all day long. So those are just some tips, but don't post back to backs, because you're only hurting yourself with that. So keep that in mind as well.
Love it. That's I feel like there was one other thing I was going to say, but I also feel like we've gone so long and I could probably talk for 3 more hours on it. Oh, I know what I was going to say, just really quick, because before we got on this Zoom, I posted a business post just about I had been in my robe for like 5 hours today and just about how this is not what I joined for, but I'm so thankful that I made the decision when I was 22, blah, blah, blah. You can look at my page, it's on there. But when I had been up for almost an hour when I got on the Zoom and it only had 3 likes. So I was like, okay, something's up. Like it, it wasn't a salesy picture. It was a high quality picture. Something's up. So I went in and I changed the caption. I deleted like the entire last paragraph of the caption. And within the last 15 minutes has had like 6 more likes. So it was stuck at 3. Sometimes I do that. If something's not getting good feedback, I don't even necessarily take the post down. I just go back and change the caption because the whole Facebook algorithm picking up on the same picture being used over and over. There's also certain keywords sometimes that Facebook will notice. Like if you'll notice if we ever come out with like a BOGO promotion, if you use BOGO in your caption, a lot of times thousands of people are using BOGO at the same time. Facebook's like, okay, repetitive. So it'll stop showing as many of those posts. So it may have had nothing to do with my caption, who knows, but sometimes it makes me feel better and sometimes it works. So if you post something and within an hour you don't get the feedback that you think you should have, either try reposting it later with a totally different caption or change the filters on the picture, or just go in and change some of the caption. I just deleted my phone number and a little bit off of there and it's going again. So just a little
and always like and comment back on people.
Yes.
Do like an interaction post or something like that. An interaction post is like, where should I eat for dinner tonight? Or, like the things where you want people to interact and comment for you. But I always go back and I comment back and back because it's going to continually pop that back up to people's feeds. If you do a live video, I go back and I comment and I take my time going back and commenting, like I did it in my keto coffee live back on Sunday. I'm still going back and I find someone I didn't reply to and I comment and it's going to back up to somebody's feed. And I had somebody comment today saying, hey, can I get a sample of that? And it's from like days ago. So just kind of keep that in mind. You want to interact with people on your posts as well, because it's going to get you more eyes put on it too. Isn't it crazy how much we learn about Facebook?
Seriously, like you guys thought you were going to sign up and post 3 times and be a millionaire. And now we're like, you got to take good selfies and you got to follow people and interact with them and actually be friends with them. No, yes. Instead, I always say like what we do and what we're telling you guys to do, it's really not hard work. Like it's crazy to me that people would quit on a business like this. Like it takes time and it takes consistently, but I don't break a sweat when I'm making a Facebook post. It's not mentally exhausting for me to come up with a caption about our little side gig that we do from our phones. Like it's not hard. Like you can just be more efficient if you'll take the time to learn how to effectively work your business on social media. And you can learn to do the things behind the scenes. And we know social media and posting is not everything. You have to do the behind the scenes stuff too. But if you can get better at the actual like public part of it, the behind the scenes stuff gets easier. So that's why we do the trainings like this, just so that it'll make your life easier in the long run for actually sealing the deal and getting responses from messages because you're attracting people into your business. So
yes, agreed.
I don't have anything else to add. I mean, I do, but I'm not going to because I think we covered a lot. So hopefully it was helpful for you guys. Do you have anything you want to close with, Valerie?
I guess just to hit home, just be who you are. This is all about knowing who you are and showing, if anything, be passionate and excited about it. I just think of my friend that sells makeup and how she drew me in. It was just her. I had nothing to do with, I don't like makeup. And now I love makeup. And I feel like it's all because of her. And it was just because of her passion. Had nothing to do with the best sales ad that I ever read. There was nothing like that. So just be yourself and you are going to be the one that attracts people in. It's not going to be this big, amazing post that you made. It's just going to be about you being genuine. being genuine and just original with who you are.
Love it. All right. Well, I realized I had the spotlight video on you this whole time, which is probably fine because my lighting is awful in my office at night. So that's all we've got for you guys tonight. I think we answered your questions in the chat. I will look before I get off of here, but that is all we've got for you guys. And I hope it was helpful. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. Valerie, thanks for teaming up with me.
Thanks for having me and thanks for hosting it.
Of course. All right. Good night, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.